Emily worked late at the office that night. It was a Friday, and most of her colleagues had already left for the weekend. She had been buried in paperwork for hours, but now it was time to finish up a final report before heading home. The office was quiet, with only the hum of the fluorescent lights and the occasional clatter of a keyboard breaking the silence. Emily glanced at her watch. 11:45 p.m. She was almost done and looking forward to getting home. As she typed, she noticed something strange. The lights in the office flickered for a moment before stabilizing. She brushed it off, thinking it was just a power surge. She continued working, but a shiver ran down her spine. The clock on the wall ticked loudly in the otherwise silent office. Emily's eyes darted to the security camera feed on her computer screen. The cameras were supposed to be monitoring the office, but now she saw something odd, a shadowy figure standing near the entrance. Emily blinked, rubbed her eyes, and checked again. The figure was gone. She dismissed it as a glitch, or perhaps her tired eyes playing tricks on her. Still, she couldn't shake the unease that had settled in. At exactly midnight, the office's air conditioning system clicked off, leaving the room uncomfortably warm. Emily stood up to get some water from the break room, but as she walked past the large glass windows of the office, she saw a dark shape moving outside. Her heart raced. She peered out, but the night was empty and still. She tried to calm herself, thinking it was probably a stray animal or the wind moving something. She headed to the break room, took a deep breath, and drank a glass of water. As she walked back to her desk, her phone rang. It was a call from an unknown number. Emily hesitated but answered. "Hello?" There was a moment of silence on the other end before a chilling voice whispered, "You shouldn't be here." Emily's blood ran cold. She hung up immediately and looked around the office. The once familiar space now seemed foreign and threatening. She checked the security feed again, but this time it showed only static. Nervously, she packed her things, eager to leave. As she reached the elevator, she noticed that it wasn't coming up. She hit the button again, but nothing happened. Her only other option was the stairwell. Emily took a deep breath and walked to the stairwell. The metal door creaked open and she began her descent. The stairwell was dimly lit and her footsteps echoed off the concrete walls. She glanced up and down the stairwell, feeling a sense of dread. Halfway down, the stairwell lights flickered and then went out completely. Emily's phone was her only source of light. She fumbled to turn on the flashlight feature. The beam of light cut through the darkness, revealing the steps below. Suddenly, she heard a noise, a door slamming shut on one of the floors above. Emily froze, her heart pounding. She had the distinct feeling that she wasn't alone. She quickened her pace, but as she descended, the flashlight flickered and went out. Emily was plunged into darkness. She fumbled with her phone, trying to get the light back on. In the pitch black, she heard footsteps, slow and deliberate, echoing up from the bottom of the stairwell. Panic set in. She turned to run back up, but her phone's light finally came back on, and she saw something that made her blood run cold. A figure standing at the bottom of the stairs, looking up at her. Emily screamed and bolted back up the stairs. She burst into the office, slamming the stairwell door behind her. Her breathing was ragged, and she felt tears prickling her eyes. She dialed 911, her hands trembling. As she explained her situation, she noticed something odd. The office's door, an old wooden door with a glass panel, was now slightly ajar, even though she was sure she had locked it. The police arrived within minutes. They searched the building but found no one. They reassured Emily that it was probably just a prank or someone looking for shelter, but she wasn't convinced. As they left, Emily was alone again. She collected her things quickly and decided to leave. She glanced at the security feed one last time before heading out. The feed was still showing static. Just before she left, she noticed something in the corner of the feed. A dark shadow that seemed to follow her every move. She shivered and hurried out of the building, locking the door behind her. The next Monday, Emily returned to the office with her colleagues. They found nothing amiss, but the security camera footage from that night was mysteriously erased. Emily never stayed late at the office again, and she often wondered if she'd just been exhausted or if there really was someone or something lurking in the dark that night.